In this session, we are now going to look into how to search for a research questionnaire. But before we do that, let's look at how a questionnaire looks like. Now, this is how a typical questionnaire looks like. Normally, we do have other details at the top, maybe inviting the respondents to answer the questions, just a brief background about the study as well. We may add a certain explanations for terms that are not normally used and people might not know about the terminologies. So we might add a few definitions at the top of the questionnaire. But in this case, in order to save space, I haven't added any information previously. And the terminologies are pretty simple, or rather they are pretty simple to understand. So there are no definitions as well in this questionnaire. While in this questionnaire, there are terminologies, technical terminologies. So there are few explanations as well. We normally start our questionnaire with basic demographic information that we ask our respondents to fill. Maybe age, their department, their gender, the university they are working in, or any organization they are working in. In both cases, I'm collecting data from the university, so that's why you see university as a common field in both of the questionnaires. Now look at this actually. This is your variable. This is another variable. This is another variable. Another variable. Another. So all these variables have got different items. So these items are actually measuring this particular construct. So if you read these items, you will see that these are statements with which one can disagree or agree, or maybe choose any of these options on Likert scale. For example, let me read one to you. The university provides equal opportunities for all its members. So this is a statement with which the respondents can strongly agree or strongly disagree. They can have a neutral opinion about it. They can agree or they can strongly agree. Now all these items or all these statements are actually measuring this particular construct. Similarly, for all the constructs in this study, we've got different items. Now, how do we find these items? For example, if I've got a model and I've got variables in my model, they are interlinked. Now I want to draft a questionnaire for all my variables in this study or all the constructs in this study. I want to have statements like this. So where do I find these statements? In order to do this, you have to find research papers on the construct or on the constructs that you are studying. For instance, I'm studying project success. So my first step is searching papers on project success. How do I do this? You can either go to all the databases that you've got, Emerald, Sage, Springer, Science Direct, Taylor and Francis, or simply we can go to Google Scholar. So let's write project success. Now once I search, it gives me a lot of papers, all that have been done on project success and all that have been indexed by Google Scholar. Now it's giving me a paper from 1988, but we are living in 2021. So it's always a good idea to have latest papers. Find what latest papers are doing. From where are they getting their questionnaire? So in this case, let's select since 2017 so that we only get latest papers and see what latest papers are doing with project success. So there are still a number of papers. So which paper will give us our questionnaire? This is an important point. Since it's a questionnaire and we normally use questionnaires like fully structured questionnaire with items in quantitative research. One that we are interested in finding out, okay, what factors could influence project success maybe. Or maybe, for example, there is another variable, servant leadership. So how servant leadership is affecting project success. Now in this case, we are looking for items. So when we are looking for items, it should be in a study that has used that construct to measure the perception of the respondents pertinent to that variable, and it will be mostly quantitative research. So how do I differentiate? How do I find out whether a research is quantitative or not? There are a few indicators, obviously. For example, this, a structural equation model. So we use structural equation modeling in survey-based research. So this particular study would have used a questionnaire on project success. So let's open this. This one, an empirical investigation into different stakeholder groups. This would have used as well, because this is an empirical investigation. This one, because this is looking into the relationship between different factors and project success. So when you are looking at the relationship, you are actually measuring different concepts. And in order to measure, normally when you are studying a relational or when the study is relational in nature, or you are studying the correlation between different concepts, normally we go for questionnaire. Similarly, impact. So there might be a questionnaire in here. So open up a few papers. This one might be, this one as well, effect. You can have a look at this one, because the variables look actually that they are looking at the relationship between these different concepts. Okay, so here is a paper. Let's open the PDF. So the first step, the variable that you want the questionnaire on, search it on Google Scholar. Filter out the papers and then look at the papers that might have a questionnaire, and then open those papers. So it's actually downloading. Meanwhile, we can have a look at the other ones. Let's see if we can get a PDF here. This one as well, and this one as well. So this paper has downloaded. Let's open this paper and see what they have done. Now they are looking at soft skills of construction project management professionals and project success factors. So yes, they have used a questionnaire survey, 108 project management professional. Now where is the questionnaire? Let's scroll down. Normally, sometimes the questionnaire is in the text, in the tables that they have used to present their results. Let's see if they've got a table with the questionnaire. So this, okay, these are the project success factors. So yes, here is your questionnaire. See, these are the items. This is the construct, and each construct has got multiple items, and those multiple items have been given a code. And if you read this statement, you will see that one or your respondent can either disagree, agree, strongly agree, something like that with the statement. So just hold on. Let us look at the factors that are measuring project success, because it is giving us all the items. So comfort, competence, commitment, communication. So here it is. These are the items that are measuring project success factors. But now there is a question. Is this, or are these indicators of project success? Normally, if we have studied iron triangle. So we are looking into scope, budget, and time, and other things when you are measuring project success. So this might not be an adequate measure for project success. But then we still have to look. Let's look at the methodology or read the paper, that how do they define project success, and from where did they get this particular questionnaire. So how do we find from where did they get this questionnaire? We have to get to the research methodology. And let's see if they have mentioned a source or they have developed the questionnaire on their own. Both could be true. But for now, let's look at a questionnaire that has been developed by previous researchers and used in current research. Here they have used, as for project success factors, a 4-group framework with 15 variables which was proposed by Nguyen. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So they have used this particular scale of project success developed by this particular set of authors. So what you could do is, because they didn't develop it themselves, you have to go to the source of the questionnaire. Do not just copy and paste the questionnaire from here. They might have adapted it, changed it. So you have to go to the original source of the questionnaire. And where is that source? They have mentioned it, and here is the complete paper. Just put it in Google Scholar and you will get the paper. Let's try another one, because this particular questionnaire might not suit our study, because we might define project success differently, not in terms of comfort, competence, commitment, or communication. We might or we may be defining it in terms of iron triangle. So let's look at some other questionnaires. So now we've downloaded these papers. Let's look at this one, the first one by Davis, and let's see what they have done. So do we have a questionnaire here? Let's have a look. They have most probably used interviews in their study. So we do not have a questionnaire here. So this is not usable. Let's look at the other one that we have downloaded. This one. And let's see if they've got a questionnaire. So this is how they are operationalizing the concepts or presenting a few definitions on project success. So this is the model. Obviously they are testing hypothesis, so they will have used a questionnaire. So where is the questionnaire? Is it in this particular paper? Yes, it is in the paper. See, measurement for communication, conflict, and project success. So here is the questionnaire on project success. And if you read these statements, you will see that obviously you can either disagree, agree, or anything on the Likert scale could be your option. So how did they get this questionnaire? From where did they get it? Did they do it themselves? Did they measure it themselves? Or did they take it from existing research? So we have to go to the variable measurement and pilot test section, or rather the methodology section of the paper. Sometimes it is methodology, sometimes within the methodology they would have mentioned it like questionnaire design, measures, sources, something like that. So let's read through this particular the items used to measure the willingness of communication. So here we see that they have mentioned the sources of the questionnaire. This is the source of project success. Now they have used multiple sources to measure project success. This can be done as well. So they have used 3 different sources. The questionnaire by Jiang, Liu, and Pinto. They have combined these questionnaires and they have developed their own. So in this case, what you can do is you can mention that project success, or you measured project success based on the scale by these people, and you can also give reference to these studies that okay, these particular authors actually based their study, or they based their measurement of project success on the work of these authors, the ones that were measured in the mentioned in the methodology. So now you've got the questionnaire for project success. Let's look at the other paper as well, just to be sure. Now, what did they do? Let's have a look. Project success, and they are testing hypothesis, so they would have used a questionnaire. And where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Now they have used these items, but these are not really items or statements. These are just factors. So you can draft your own statements from these items. How to draft? You will have to have a statement like this. For instance, the project had a significant impact on the team. The project had a significant impact on the customer. The project offered or helped the business achieve its success. The project helped the organization prepare for the future. Now what I've done is I've transformed these particular factors or traits or characteristics of a successful project into statements. So you have to have statements. No, you do not do it like this. Did the project for example, did the project had an impact on the team? So do not draft interrogative questions. Draft statements with which someone can agree or disagree, or it can be used with a Likert scale. Now in this case again, they are developing their own questionnaire because they have based it on multiple sources. So this is how you search for questionnaires. Sometimes it's not in the text like this. Sometimes it's not even in the text, and it's not even in the appendix in the end. But they have used a questionnaire. Here is the questionnaire. A summary of research variable and their descriptive statistics. But sometimes it's not in the text and it's not in the appendix at the end as well. So where is it? So you have to go to the research methodology and find out from where did this get the questionnaire. Let me give you another example from one of my own papers. So this is a paper on project success as well. Let's see. Yes, we have used questionnaire. So is there a questionnaire in the text of the paper? No, we did not mention the questionnaire, we only mentioned the items. So where is the questionnaire? Is it in the end? Let's have a look. No, it's not in the end. So where is the questionnaire? So you have to go to research methodology and see which questionnaire did we use. We used the questionnaire by Agha et al. And we just mentioned one of the sample items that we used. So you have to go to the source questionnaire. So go to Agha et al. 2016, and here is the paper. Let's copy the title, put it in Google Scholar. Now we are going towards the source to get our questionnaire. And here is the paper. Because we did not develop a questionnaire on our own, we actually took it from this paper. So we have to go to the source. And here is the paper. So where is the questionnaire? Let's have a look. So they have used project success to test its relationship with the other factors. So where is the questionnaire? Let's have a look. It's not in the text. Is it in the end? Let's have a look. Yes, it's in the end. They have added it to the appendix, measurement items, and here is your questionnaire. 4 items from here and the rest of them here. So you can just copy them and use it and give the reference of this particular study, that it is this study that developed the questionnaire, just the way we did here. Like this. Here, the project success constructs comprises of 6 items based on the work of Agha and others 2016. Now let's move on. Let's search another variable. Let's say now we are interested in servant leadership. So let's search for servant leadership. And see if we can more or less these are latest papers because this is more or less a latest concept. So any paper, impact of servant leadership on performance, the mediating role of active and cognitive trust. This might be usable. Let's have a look. This might be usable as well. Again this one, let's see this one. So here is the paper, and yes, they have used questionnaire, and let's see if we have the questionnaire here. Servant leadership, they have used Erhart's 2004 14 item scale. So yes, there is a source. Is the questionnaire in the text? Yes, it is in the text here. But again, they said that they used 14 item scale, but here they have used only 13. Where is the last one? So again, as I said earlier, go to the source. Go to the source paper, original paper by Erhart. Where is the original paper? The full reference is in the references list. Okay. So this is how you can search for the questionnaire on servant leadership. Similarly, you can open other papers as well. Let's see, this one is downloading. Let's see this one. Okay, there is another way to do it. Let's say we are looking for the questionnaire on servant leadership. So now normally the questionnaire is, we refer to it with the term measure. How do you measure servant leadership? So you can write like this: measuring servant leadership. So you will find papers that have explicitly measured that particular concept. Let's say we write measuring servant leadership, and you will find papers that have measured servant leadership. For example, let's say look at, so we've selected since 2017. Let's go to anytime. And defining and measuring servant leadership, measuring servant leadership, measuring servant leadership. So you'll find papers that have explicitly focused on developing a questionnaire for servant leadership. Similarly, you can go for, let's say, project success. So you'll find papers that have focused on measuring project success. These are quite latest papers because measures are hard to come by. Not everyone works on measuring the concepts. So you can look at these papers and they will give you a complete detail of the measures that are available and the ones that you can use. So let's see. Okay, here is another paper. Have they used a questionnaire? Let's see if they have. No, it's sort of a review, so they would not have used a questionnaire. How do I know that it's a review? So this is here. They are talking about theories. So this is how you can search questionnaire for your study. Simply just go to Google Scholar, put in the terms, search for latest papers and see what questionnaires they have used.